Muhaba Mohammed says she doesn't know why she crashed her car. In a story you'll see only on 10 TV, Nathan Bacher reveals why this driver was legally prohibited from being behind the wheel at the time of that crash. Nathan?
Well, Jerry, Muhaba Mohammed's timeline works out like this. She's been in the United States for nearly a year. She's crashed 2 different cars in the span of 1 week, and now she faces a lifetime of regret and sorrow for what she did behind the wheel. Covering her face at times and speaking through a family member translating off camera, Muhaba Mohammed speaks publicly for the first time. Last Thursday, a car she was driving veered off Westerville Road, killing an infant in a stroller and injuring his father.
She preferred being dead, like, instead of the baby, and all the problem she caused. She preferred to die instead of all that, the problem she caused.
The crash happened just feet away from the dealership where Muhaba Mohammed was in the process of buying a new car.
She did the deposit and she signed the invoice. She came out from the office of the dealer. That's all she remembers. She doesn't know what went after that.
Mohammed does remember this crash on Interstate 71 just 4 days prior on May 29th. She says she missed her exit and wanted to do a U-turn on the freeway. That's when she hit the center median. Mohammed had a temporary driving permit. She had passed a state written test.
She never went to school, but friends and family helped her to learn how to drive.
Drivers with temporary permits must have a licensed passenger in the car. Mohammed admits she was alone in her car during both crashes.
She says she doesn't know a lot of the like regulation and laws about if she was not supposed to drive with somebody. She thought it was okay to drive.
Coming up on 10 TV at 6, we show what the state could have done to take away that driver's permit before the deadly crash. We've reached out to the family of the child who died. They currently have no comment about what Muhaba Mohammed said about the death of their infant boy. Kristen?
Nathan, thank you.
The driver of a car that hit a father pushing his 7-month-old son in a stroller is talking tonight. That crash killed the baby and seriously injured the father. Tonight, that driver says she is heartbroken and doesn't know what caused her to lose control.
ABC 6's Luann Stoya is live where the accident happened with her story tonight. Luann?
Muhaba tells me that she was in this parking lot and headed to the BMV. She drove just about 100 yards down Westerville Road here, but investigators don't know why she veered off, striking a dad who was pushing that stroller. Muhaba Mohammed has been in the United States about a year. She says she doesn't remember a lot about the accident here. Since Muhaba's English is limited, she talks with us through a friend interpreting for her.
She said, I feel bad about it and I'm so sorry.
We found records that show Muhaba had been cited for failure to control in Delaware just 5 days before this accident.
That they gave her a ticket because she lost where she was going, she lost direction.
Muhaba cries under her headscarf, remorseful and heartbroken. She tells us she was not under the influence of drugs or alcohol when she hit the father and son.
This thing happened and I don't know what caused it, but I wasn't on the phone and I wasn't looking for direction.
BMV records show the 31-year-old Muhaba Mohammed was driving with a temporary permit. She tells us she did not know then that she was not legally allowed behind the wheel without a licensed driver in her vehicle.
She says what happened, she didn't cause intentionally. It happened by accident.
The 7-month-old boy named Micah died at the scene. Muhaba tells us she wishes she could change what happened, trade her life for his.
She will be given her life instead of the baby. She doesn't want it to hurt anybody.
Franklin County deputies tell us they're continuing their investigation. So far, no charges have been filed. And some new information comparing what happened here to that Delaware report. OHP's crash report that we just obtained says Mahuba's accident on I-71 May 29th was similar to what happened here. The trooper says she veered off the left side of the interstate into a median cable. Nobody was hurt in that crash. Now tonight, Micah's father says on his GoFundMe page that he is still in disbelief about what happened. He also says he thinks Micah is in a better place now. For now, we're live on the north.
New details surrounding the deadly crash of a 7-month-old boy who was hit by a car while his dad was pushing him in his stroller. 10 TV has learned more about the driver behind the wheel, and we have learned this is not the first time she has had issues with her driving record. The Sheriff's Department says 31-year-old Muhaba Mohammed was behind the wheel and for an unknown reason drove into a father and his 7-year-old while the father was, as we said, pushing his stroller along Westerville Road.
Now the boy died and the father's out of the hospital. 10 TV's Kevin Landers is live at the scene and is now learning more about the driver and what happened before that crash. Kevin?
Well, this is the memorial for the 7-month-old who was killed. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department has yet to complete its investigation, which has the family furious because no charges have been filed. Meanwhile, 10 TV has learned that moments before the crash, the driver had left a used car lot. Moments before this Toyota RAV4 crashed into a toddler, killing him, the owner of this used car dealership says the driver, Mahuba Mohammed, drove the SUV off his lot. Can you tell me if she was test driving the car?
No test drive. She buy the car.
He says Mohammed told him she would drive the SUV to the bank to get the $4,622 listed on this invoice and come back. He says he knew her from a previous sale, so he let her drive the car. But Mohammed never made it to the bank because witnesses say she crashed about 100 yards down the road.
I need my money.
This is not the first traffic incident involving the 31-year-old. 10 TV has learned on May 29th, 5 days prior to this fatal crash, she was cited in Delaware for failure to control another car she was driving. This man, who asked we not show his face because he fears retribution, says surveillance cameras on his home from Thursday's crash shows Mohammed never hit the brakes after she hit the child and her father.
It was not something I want to see again, ever.
Mohammed's SUV hit his house, which is less than 100 yards away.
There's no traffic. She pulled out of the driveway, had an open road, and just went off the road.
He says he turned his video over to police to help solve the case. BMV records obtained by 10 TV show Mohammed was driving on a temporary permit. By law, she must have a licensed driver in the car. But this man says his video shows there was only one person in the SUV.
She did not have anyone else in the vehicle with her.
And you would swear to that in court?
Oh, yeah. Oh. It's on the camera. It's on video.
Now, I spoke to the victim's family, who tells me that the father, who was injured, is now out of the hospital. He didn't suffer any broken bones, but they say he is badly bruised. The family says they will not make any statement about this crash until the driver is charged. Reporting live in Northeast Columbus, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.